Hello and welcome to Business Perspectives channel. In today's video, I'll be discussing the dysfunction of the United Nations Security Council and how it impacts global peacekeeping efforts. Is the Security Council still fit for purpose, or is it held hostage by its powerful members? I will explore the use of vetoes, representation imbalances, and why many believe the Council is failing to meet the challenges of the 21st century. The UN Security Council was established in 1945 to maintain international peace and security. It consists of 15 members, with 5 being permanent members: China, France, Russia, the UK, and the US. The P5 hold veto power, meaning they can block any resolution regardless of the majority consensus. The remaining 10 members are elected for 2-year terms, but lack veto power. Since 1945, the P5 have used their veto power frequently to serve national interests, leading to inaction on many crises. Russia, over 120 vetoes, often to protect its interests in Syria and Ukraine. United States, over 80 vetoes, mostly related to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. China, around 16 vetoes, blocking actions regarding Taiwan, Myanmar, and others. France and the UK have used the veto sparingly, but the veto power means that any one of these 5 countries can paralyze global action. Russia has repeatedly blocked resolutions condemning the war in Ukraine and Assad regime, leading to prolonged suffering and instability in the regions. The US has used its veto to shield Israel from international scrutiny over settlements and military actions in the occupied Palestinian territories and Lebanon. The current P5 structure reflects the post-World War II power balance, which is now outdated. Population statistics. Africa, with 1.4 billion people, has no permanent representation despite facing numerous conflicts where UNSC interventions are common. India, having a population of 1.4 billion, has no permanent seat despite being the most populous democracy and one of the largest economies. Also, Latin America, with 665 million people across major countries like Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina, have no representation in the P5 too. This skewed representation undermines the legitimacy of the UNSC, making it harder for it to act as a global arbiter. The United Nations Security Council issues binding resolutions. However, non-compliance is a significant problem. Examples of unenforced resolutions include, in the Israel-Palestine conflict, numerous resolutions calling for Israeli withdrawal from occupied territories remain unheeded. In Ukraine, resolutions calling for Russia's withdrawal from Crimea and an end to the war remain unheeded. And in North Korea, despite multiple resolutions sanctioning its nuclear program, the country continues to develop its weapons. These failures reduce the credibility of the Council, as nations know that even if resolutions are passed, enforcement is often lacking. The United Nations Security Council has become a battleground for the geopolitical interests of the permanent 5 members, often referred to as the P5. Russia and the United States are constantly at odds over issues like Syria and Ukraine. Meanwhile, China and the United States have their own disagreements over Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Xinjiang, which have led to significant tensions and have paralyzed action on human rights violations in those regions. This deadlock has left the Security Council largely ineffective at addressing new global challenges such as climate change, cybersecurity, and non-state actors like terrorist groups. There have been numerous calls to reform the UN Security Council to make it more representative and effective. Proposals include expanding permanent membership to include countries like India, Brazil, Germany, and Japan, or adding 2 permanent representatives from Africa. Another suggestion is to limit or abolish the veto power, especially in cases of genocide or mass atrocities. Increasing transparency in how decisions are made is also a key proposal. However, reform faces strong resistance from the P5, who are reluctant to dilute their own power. Despite its many flaws, the UN Security Council remains one of the only forums where major powers can come together to address global security issues. However, without significant reform, the Security Council's credibility and effectiveness will continue to decline. Inaction on major conflicts, coupled with the outdated veto system, leaves the world vulnerable to unchecked crises. Without giving a greater voice to underrepresented regions like Africa, India, and Latin America, the Security Council cannot truly claim to represent the interests of the international community. What do you think? Should the veto power be reformed or abolished? Should new countries join the Security Council as permanent members? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more geopolitical analysis. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future content. Thanks for watching.